Hi, welcome to Roleplay Cafe. This is John, and we are back with finally another session of Alien. We've been gone for I missed about three weeks, I believe. Um, Dell and Todd are not here. Dell may be joining us later, but we do have Dune and a new player, Eric. If Eric recently joined Todd's um, OSC campaign, Joff. So you may recognize him from there if you watch that. So last time we left off, the group had split up. Uh, Dr. Bircher was up on the UNCSS Ilyanla, up in orbit above the mother colony, uh, doing research on the DNA samples that he got from the refugee that the group brought back with them from the second colony. Uh, we will pick up with what's going on up on the Ilyanla when Dell shows up. Uh, Otherwise, we're going to be down on the mother colony. Uh, when we last left Dr. Bircher and Yoko, uh, they were trying to locate General Ozelinsky, the rebel leader of the UPP, and they had isolated him or potentially isolated him to basically area 11 on the ground floor of the mother colony. There was a garage area. uh, they found some guards uh, that were standing outside further southeast of where the actual number 11 is on the map. Or I'm sorry, no, it was west, you're right, sorry. Dune is pointing at the right spot. And they decided to go in through the roof and access the building from a ventilation shaft uh, that
Somewhere around here.
was built into the scaffolding. Yes, yeah, and basically that one wing right there is what you're accessing.
Because there was some
Uh,
storage
and
space.
yes, there were some. Yeah, so they Yoko looked into the records of the mother colony, and this was a basically a large storehouse that was used while the mother colony was still being assembled. Before there was, a lot more areas, and the higher floors were built onto the colony that they needed places to keep things. So it's no longer used because there's more efficient ways to store everything. So they just abandoned it, and it seems to have been taken over by somebody, possibly the UPP separatists.
What did we see? We
So
did
the
see
group
something from the vents, right? As I was
That's
freaking
right,
out.
yeah, yeah. So you started crawling through the vents, and Yoko and Berger uh, went to a great opening and saw what looked like a makeshift infirmary that was built into one of the rooms. Uh, there were guards stationed at the doors with rifles, and there were several, doctor, scientist looking types that were going around checking on all the patients. You could hear hacking and coughing and stuff like that from, several of these sick individuals. Uh, and Shortly after that, you realized one of you felt like something crawling on you, and you started looking around the ventilation shaft and saw that there were the oily black worms crawling all through the ventilation shaft and on the ceilings and on the walls. And some of them dropped down on top of you, and you realized that they were all over you.
Oh yeah, I'm covered in these things, and I'm freaking out.
Yes. And one of you panicked.
That's me. I'm screaming.
It was you? Okay. So, yeah. So Yoko started screaming, and that immediately draws the attention
Oh yeah.
of the guards. And you can hear panic come across the room. The guard or one of the you start hearing the scientists, screaming at the guards to find out who's up there and get rid of them. And they start coming over, and they have their rifles drawn, but
Oh,
they are
I'm
not immediately firing.
I think I'm like so disturbed and distraught by the situation that I want out of this any way I can. Can I like try to bust out, like break this thing so that I'm falling down to the ground out of this vent?
Yes, you can. I'm not even going to make you roll unless you want, because I assume
I'm
you're
mostly
doing
like
this,
I don't even care about the
manically.
like you described the movement of the guards and the rifles and all that. Like that's not in my head. My head is get these things off me.
All right, so yeah, start thrashing around, kicking at the grate. The grate gives
Yeah,
way, and
yeah.
you tumble out, landing on your shoulder. Like hits one of the cots that one of the
Oof.
sick people is on, and the cot like moves out of the way from the impact, and you can see a sick person like being jostled on, almost thrown off the bed.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and you are now surrounded by these by two guards that have their rifles drawn at you. They start screaming, "What were you doing up there? Who are you?"
Uh, do I still am I still covered in those things, the worms?
Yes, yes, you are still covered in those things.
I imagine
They
I'm
might.
laying on
I
the
mean, they
ground.
don't seem to. Yeah, they don't seem. It's not like you're completely covered in them because they don't seem to notice them. Uh, when they're screaming at you, but they're there.
I'm gonna shout, lock the area down. It's contaminated. And,
And you see a look a look of panic comes over a couple of the scientists that are in the area, and they run over and hit a button that is on the side of the wall, and the lights go dark for a second, and then red lights come on, and uh, all of a sudden this mist starts pouring out of the ceiling. You thankfully recognize it as being part of the decontamination process that Dr. Bircher came up with
oh, good.
before you arrived from the first colony, or after you arrived from the first colony.
Yeah, yeah. We gave them this protocol.
Uh, so I'm going to say that that is going to reduce your panic. Um, so your stress isn't going to go down, but you're going to stop panicking
That's
because
good.
you feel like that threat is immediately gone. Uh, I'm going to say that Kip does not come down.
Yeah, so he's up top. Is
Uh,
he covered in
yes,
worms? Is he freaking out?
he is not. He did not freak out like you did. As to whether or not he's covered in worms, we're going to have to find out later.
Sounds good.
But he does not seem to be revealing himself. If you are
Sounds good.
going to reveal that he's up there, then
Oh,
maybe they'll track him down.
I would cover for Kip if I had to, but it doesn't. That's not on top of mind right now. Um,
Got it.
so there's like some mist starting to seep into the room. There's some patients
Yes,
around
yes,
me. It's a little bit of disarray from the crash that I caused,
yes.
and oh
There's, I mean, you can only see a couple feet in front of you.
yeah,
So,
okay, good.
line up. Yeah, so these guards are no longer immediately visible, but you can see, people are, are scared and panicking. Uh, that you hear some of the conscious patients say, What's going on?"
Is there a chemical shower in here?
This is a chemical shower.
Okay, okay. Yeah, wonderful. I think I know what this process is. So when I hear that, like, what's going on, I'll give the like basically the reassuring response, like the pain is only temporary, or whatever the thing that, like, this is what you should expect. Like, hold your breath just for a second. You'll be okay. Breathe normally.
Okay, I mean, the that seems to calm down the room a little bit, um, but the guards are, you hear the guards, yelling out, Stay where you are, don't move." And the one of them yells over to, one of the scientists saying, "What is going on up here? What is this shower? Can we get out of here?" And they start explaining that this is a decontamination process and it's going to take some time for it to complete.
Do I get a sense that it's working on
I'm
me?
sorry.
Do I get a sense that it's working on me?
Uh, I mean, you can look at. I mean, like I said, your vision's obscured a little bit,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
uh, but you do not see any of the worms like directly on you anymore. Uh, but you're going to have to wait for the room to clear before you can uh, completely complete your
Yeah.
inspection.
Um, okay, so I'm in hostile territory, but they're all in disarray as well. And we have no idea how Eric's going to join us.
I'm like, wait, like,
Yeah.
are you saying something yet?
uh,
So yeah, so I'm gonna say that maybe Eric was one of the newer patients that was brought in here.
ooh, okay,
Uh,
interesting.
he uh, was he came down with some sort of sickness that started in his squad, and one of them recommended that there were some doctors that could assist, and he was brought in here earlier this morning.
And these
Um,
people are total. So okay, well, we'll find out. We'll find out what their story really is and what they're really doing here. I assume that they're running experiments. It seems to be the case. I assume that they are working with Ozelinski, possibly working on whatever. But in this moment,
um,
as the chaos is unfolding around us, I will. I mean, so okay. Given that I don't, given that I don't know that there's worms on me, I'll just, you know, I'll resume normal, and my panic is kind of resolving. I'll resume normal behavior. And what would I do here? Hmm. Uh,
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do.
yeah.
I'll get
all
off
right.
of the mat because I got a rude awakening when someone just fell on me from the vent shaft.
Okay.
I was a little dazed for a second, so I'm kind of looking around, going, what's going on?" And then I'll immediately look underneath my cot for my equipment and any of my special items or whatever.
Ooh.
And
So
then
so
go
I'm
ahead.
going to say that you were required to turn over your pulse rifle when you came in,
Okay.
but you did manage to stash a pistol under your cot.
Okay.
You kept it on your person and slid it under there,
Yeah, roll
just in case
preparedness.
something
That would
similar to
be.
this happened. Yeah. So you don't have all your equipment. You have your bag. You have, but they've taken off your armor and stowed it away in a, like in a locker area
Hmm.
near the door, along with your rifle.
Okay.
It's not like locked or anything. They just,
Gotcha.
it would have gotten in the way if the when the doctors were treating.
Yeah, sensing
Uh,
movement from the patient next to me, I say,
mhm.
yeah, just stay calm, stay in place, breathe normally. Is the decontamination process will be over soon.
Cliff's gonna cough up a big mouthful of phlegm and just spit it on the ground.
All right. So after a minute or so, after Yoko explains that you see the mist start to depart, and you hear some fans kick in the ceiling, and it begins to start sucking the mist up out of the room. As you regain your vision, you can see that the doctors are trying to secure some of the unconscious patients, which seems unusual because there are several conscious patients that are either like cowering up into the fetal position or like wandering around the room. You would imagine that they would probably be the ones that would need attention.
Do I eye, or is there any sign of the person that um, was running the worker that was running from that roundup?
Oh, the scientist that you recognize from the Ilianla? Is that who you're asking about?
The one that Windows was chasing.
Oh,
Like we,
no, he is no,
yeah.
he is not here.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, because they ran through the shop and then down in this direction, but they wouldn't
right.
necessarily be in
Yes,
this room.
yes, they are not in this room with you.
Um,
I'll notice Yoko standing there. And I know they're the ones that fell on me, and I'll be like, I don't know what you're doing here, but if you're looking to get out, this is probably one of the best times to do that. We probably should try to find some kind of exit here.
what do we see for exits?
The guard. Well, there. I mean, there was the
Because I
door
know
that
the
the
doors are shut,
scientist.
aren't they?
Yeah, the door that Yoko. I mean that Cliff came in. Is sealed shut
Yeah,
uh, when they hit. You know, when the scientists hit the button and started the decontamination.
Huh.
yeah, we know
The
that's
two
airlock.
guards. The two guards see you talking and saying, "You're the two of you aren't going anywhere. Not until we work out what's going on here."
What is going on here?
Well,
I
that's
don't
what we're
know.
trying
They're
to
going to
figure
have
out
to
as well.
explain. The yeah the scientists after they start tying down some of the unconscious patients to the bed, like securing them with straps. They come over to check on Cliff, and they're like, scanning you and saying, "Are you feeling all right? Do you have an elevated heart rate?"
Oh, I'm fine. You're poking and prodding me, and it's kind of pissing me off.
Well, I just need to ensure that you don't have any secondary infections. If you don't mind, and he seems to want to check your eyes.
He'll kind of he'll roll his eyes like he's done this a couple times and goes, "All right, here," and he'll even put his fingers in there and like open them up real wide.
And he looks in at your eyes, shining a light into them, and says, "He seems to be clear. Let's check the others." And they move on to some of the other patients that have been wandering around and or are curled up into a ball trying to protect themselves. The woman that Yoko recognized, or that actually I should say that Bircher told him about, that is Roxana Borisova.
Uh huh.
She was the UPP scientist that seemed to steal some of the samples when you first arrived back at the Ilyanla from the first colony.
Got it. Got it. So
You see her,
yeah.
you see her tailing some of the other scientists, and she seems to have some sort of syringe or something in her hand.
Yoko's just gonna put two and two together and assume that he has figured this all out. Um,
Okay,
and yell like Roxana.
and that
Wait, actually,
immediately gets her attention.
just to be clear
Go ahead.
here, am I like, do I still have worms on me? Like, I'm obviously checking myself to see
Oh,
what
oh
my condition
yes.
is.
So you do no longer see any worms crawling on you,
Uh
but
huh.
you do see some like black oily stains on some of your clothing,
Uh huh.
and there's like a couple small droplets all over the ground, almost as though they just melted.
Okay. Yeah, I think I have to assume that I'm affected, but I'm not gonna like
Okay.
make a big deal out of it because I don't want to like go into quarantine. So,
It's
yeah,
always the best.
Roxana, I yell, basically. She takes note of that and she comes over to me, or
Yes. Yeah. She immediately turns to you and comes over, and she says, "How do you know my name? Who are you? You're not even supposed to be here. I don't recognize you."
people who know. And let's just say I'm loyal to Ozelinski. See what he says.
Oza Ozalinski is he's sure. If you're loyal to Ozalinski, that's fine by me. I couldn't care less for the man, but he's done enough. He's done enough with me that I will look after his allies. Do you?
How have your experiments
Do,
been going? I'm gonna interrupt her, and I'm gonna assume that she's running experiments here.
I'm going to need you to give me a manipulation roll for this in order to get her to accept. Uh-oh, you're panicking again?
Well, I'm out of here. Bye.
uh, oh, no, actually, hold on a second. You should not have gotten more panic. Uh,
Really?
do you, what's your panic condition right now?
+1.
No,
Hold on, let me look.
uh,
Yeah,
you
I
should
thought the
have,
panic
My
got
you,
reset from the
my stress
mid.
says 0 right
yeah,
now. My panic is not clicked right now.
okay. We're gonna have to
Let
scroll
me
up and
check
see
my.
what you
I
got
do.
before.
You know what?
Hold
I
on.
do have a panic condition on my inventory somehow. I don't really know
On
what
your
that's all about.
inventory.
I don't know where
Oh,
that
this is
came from.
Kip.
That
This
that
is Kip. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong character sheet.
I don't really
On your
remember why.
inventory?
Yeah, I noticed that this appeared here at some point, and I didn't really know how
Huh.
to handle it. I don't
Okay,
really know what.
we're just gonna delete that.
Okay,
Uh,
should I roll again? I don't
so
know.
no, so I believe you got a 4, right? Isn't that what your
Well, I
panic
rolled three
roll was?
dice, and one
No,
was a
no, no. I
stress
meant
die.
on your panic roll. You got a panic condition +1.
Stress +1, stress modifier +0, talents crit +0.
Yes.
So
So your s- your stress must have been at 1 because you rolled one panic die. So you should have gone and you rolled a 4, so it should be +1. So it should be a 3. So I'm going to say that you're not fleeing.
okay,
That's
okay,
not the correct result.
okay,
Something was off.
okay.
But you see kind of a smirk come across her. Oh, you didn't actually succeed. That's right.
That's right.
She says I don't have any experiments going on that I'm going to be discussing with the likes of you. Now, she speaks to the guards, secure this man and bring him back into my office so that we can have a further discussion as to how he knows who I am. And the two guards are going to uh, kind of throw their rifles over their shoulders and lean over to pick you up off the ground.
Well,
And
I'll intervene and get in there and grab them. I can take them.
okay, so you're going to you're just going to try to physically prevent them from
I'm just gonna be
like
like push in there. It's
manhandling you.
like, yeah, I'm better. I'm ready to go back to work type stuff here. So it's like, yeah, I can take them. So yeah,
Oh, I see. Okay,
yeah.
I thought you meant. when you said I could take them, I thought you meant you could take the 2 guns.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm going to need you to give me a manipulation roll for that, or command, whichever, you feel is more appropriate, uh, in
Uh,
order to get them to like, acquiesce and let
well,
you take them.
they're both a 0 for me, so it does not matter.
Alright, so, well, they're both empathy, so pick one
Yes.
and give it a roll.
We'll say command. It seems more of a thing I'll do
Okay.
here.
Alright, do you wanna push?
Uh, sure.
Okay.
I'll give it a try.
Good choice. Good choice.
You got a success. Alright,
Hey,
good choice. So, yeah, they kinda look at each other and say and shrug their shoulders, and then go over and, start trying to, restrain some of these other, loose patients. Uh, so, yeah, how are you gonna escort Yoko into the office, which you believe is around the corner here? So,
it's gonna
this
say I don't know
room this room has, only like, from where you're at right now, only you see the main door, that's what you came in, but you see there's a small hallway, further down off from that door. You couldn't you haven't been down there, but you assume that his office or that her office would be down there.
So
You're
what I'm gonna do is
definitely
go ahead.
you're definitely stronger than Yoko. What Yoko would aim to do is just to like do a hand gesture, like "Don't touch me," and then like cooperate. That's what Yoko would do, but you're stronger, so whatever you do,
Yep.
whatever you say
So I'm definitely gonna touch you. So
goes.
I just kind of put my hand on your one of your shoulders,
So I'm like, "Don't
and
touch me."
I do it kind of ignoring what you're saying and go, okay, come with me. And then I'm first off. I beeline to where I know my equipment is and get that.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna pass the lockers, on the
Gotcha.
way to that small hallway, and you can grab all of that stuff.
And then as we're walking, I want to see. I don't know if I can do it discreetly or not. I'm going to ask him. I was like, all right, what's going on? Do you want to go here or do you want to leave?
um, I'll just I'll I'll whisper back. I'll be like, um, we can get out of here, but we can get out of here. But I'm willing to see what they have going on first. They these people certainly aren't above board. Just saying, like they're not. I don't believe that they are like government sanctioned. Like I think this is a
Okay. I've I've heard you mention Ozelinski a couple times now, and I have my own questions for him.
yeah.
So I'm
We've been
I,
my
I'm with
crew have
you at
been
the
looking
moment.
for him. I'm part of the crew of the
Solovetsky Island.
Solovetsky Island. That's the one. Yep, I'm part of the crew of Solovetsky Island, and we've been on submissions to recruit and recon uh, new expansions for the mother colony, and there's certainly a lot going on. Ozelinski is, I'll be honest, even though I told these folks that I'm loyal to Ozelinski, I really just wanted to find out their allegiance to him.
Mm, okay. Well,
So, I'm
go ahead.
sorry, Eric.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanna address what he said. So, Cliff would know the name Solovetsky Island because it's only one of 4, expedition, uh, ships that are the entire purpose of the mother colony being here.
I'm
So,
glad you said that because I was about to say I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You know what you should do actually, John? Would it make sense that Cliff was already like a backup or like wanted to be on the Solovetsky Island for whatever reason? I don't know if that makes
uh,
sense.
it's so what we've
Because
established so far is that he's a colonial marine part of protection of the mother colony. So he's been involved in various things, and what I was going to do was I was going to have the governor suggest that he provide protection based off of your encounters
Okay,
with
that makes
Mother
sense.
Michaela,
That makes sense. Um,
who Cliff does not know who Mother Michaela is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so basically, we're getting out of here. We're gonna work together to get out of here. But I'm willing to play along just to see what they have going for them.
Well, if you
I'm
get more
what
information, the better.
and what's your allegiance with Ozelinski? What's your business with Ozelinski?
I just have some questions I have to ask him.
well, when we find him, you can you uh, you can question away.
Kind of
All
nods,
right.
and as he nods, he takes a rubber band out of his pockets and puts his hair up into a fancy man bun. So
Oh.
Oh wow. Okay. So are you guys going to the office? Are you leaving? Are you going to do something else? What are
Oh,
you
are we
doing?
just we're just chatting? No, I thought we were playing along. We're finding out. We're going to the office.
Okay.
yep, yeah, we
All
can do
right.
that.
Okay. So Cliff doesn't quite know where it is. So,
No,
he goes down this little hallway, checks a couple rooms. One seems to be like a closet or something.
yeah, I'm like
So
totally
he tries.
expecting there to be like a sign somewhere that says "office this way."
No, there's not. This is definitely a makeshift setup here. And eventually you find what you assume is the office based off of the computer system and several changes of clothing that the doctor probably spends quite a bit of time here. And then all of the used food cartons that are scattered all over from various shops and stuff on the first on the ground level here the mother colony. Uh, yeah, so there's really only one place to sit, and that is a chair behind her desk at her computer terminal.
I'll take a seat. I don't. No, that's not my character.
But she's not in here, right?
What? No, it's just the two of you in here. Yes.
I'll say I'll keep watch for whatever you need to look for here.
Oh, I'm
But
digging. Yes, I'm. Is
I
there
was
a
gonna
desk here? Is there
say
papers to
I'm not.
shuffle through? I understand research.
Yes. So are you looking for something specific, or you're just like going to dig through her papers and try to find
The
something
number
that
one
interests
thing I want to know is who's she working for.
you? Okay. So you. Hmm, that is something specific. So I'm going to require an observation roll for that.
Okay. Observation.
Two
Good
successes.
at
All
that.
right. So the first success will get you the answer to the question of who she works for. Uh, Based off of some of her communications, she seems to have her hand in a lot of pies,
Hmm.
including she is in contact with the governor and Ozelinski
Hmm.
and a woman, what you assume is a woman named Gorham, J.V. Gorham.
Gorham, like Gorham, like the Gorham colony.
Yes. And based off of your communications with Bircher up on the Ilyanla, you suspect that this is the same woman that he ran into, who was having a conversation with Ozelinski several
Right.
days ago.
Right. That's right. This is the Gorham lady. Okay. Um. So the second success is what?
It can be whatever you want it to be, unless or otherwise I can give you something.
Um. Well, it's interesting. So I'm thinking I want to like get a piece of like information to be leverage against this lady, but like it's interesting because like I could say like I want uh like I want to know about her family, right? But then I'm guessing if she cares about her family, maybe she doesn't care about her family.
Um, I'm okay. So, are you asking me if she has family, or you just want a piece of leverage potentially of her family, or like about her family?
Well, I'm thinking about leverage, and I don't know if she cares about her family, but I
Okay.
guess I'll. I guess I'll look for leverage. Is there anything, like, what does she care about?
Uh, she seems to have no contact outside of her,
Business.
yeah, outside of her research.
Okay.
There are a couple. You see a couple pictures around of her with a young man, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe approximately her age, but she was several years younger in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and there's a little note on the back, and you do a quick search in the personnel database and see that her uh, her partner or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
boyfriend died in an accident during the construction of the mother colony
Mm.
shortly after arrival. So she does not seem to have anyone. You would suspect that the best piece of leverage would either be her communication between. You could use her communication with Ozelinski with if you want to leverage it
Mm-hmm.
again, give it to the governor or
Mm-hmm.
vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so I get that. So that makes sense. Right, the double dealings is probably the biggest vulnerability. Um, anyways, so cool. We digging through the room. I imagine she'll show up soon. I will not sit in her seat and just kind of act casual when she shows up. I'm not digging through her stuff.
All right. What's Cliff doing while is he checking making sure no one's coming while he's doing
Yeah,
this,
that's
or
basically what I'm
is he
doing. I'm just watching to see if anyone's coming,
okay?
and alert Yoko here when I see somebody. Like,
All
hey,
right.
yeah,
So
stop the finger waggling and act serious for a second here.
all right. So it takes almost 10 minutes for her to come back, uh, and you can see that she has uh, some like a little bit of blood on her hands. Uh, I mean, you heard some struggling and stuff going on. You assumed it was, her them restraining some of these patients, but her hands are a little bloody. Uh, and the syringe that she had when Yoko first, called out her name, appears to have been used, like
Oh, I see.
perhaps injected into somebody, because it's empty right now. And as she comes in, she looks at the two of you, and she looks really tired. She throws the empty syringe onto the desk and into her pile of empty food containers. And she says, "What am I going?" She looks at Yoko and says, "What am I going to do with you? Trouble never stops."
Well, I mean, I think we should take care of you first. I'm sure you have the appropriate um, supplies to clean that, and I gestured to her hands.
And she, she realizes, uh, how disgusting she is, and she goes over to a faucet that she has in the corner and starts to wash up a little bit.
As
Her
she's
back is to you now.
as she's washing up, Cliff is noticing how dirty the room is, and then it's bugging him, so he starts tidying up. He's
Okay,
like, ugh.
okay, all right. Starts throwing out
can
some of her food
I
containers.
help her? Like bandage her
Uh,
hands?
uh, yeah. So you get up and maybe find some bandages, and you kind of look over, kind of around her, over her shoulder, and realize that the blood is not hers because it all washed off and there does not appear to be any wounds.
Wonderful. I'll mention it. I'll say, it's good to see that your hands are seem to be in good condition.
Yes, some of them were a bit agitated and needed to be forcefully restrained. Um, Unfortunately, whatever this infection is that's going around is escalates things and um, increases hormone levels to a point that uh, people can become very difficult to manage.
Okay, here's what I want to do. I want to like with whatever my hand motions are, like I want to show her the oil stains on my clothes, but I don't want to like make it obvious like that. I don't want to like I'm not like saying like what do you think this is, but I want to see her reaction to the oil stains.
Yeah, so she kind of looks at those for a moment and uh, she realizes, fairly quickly what they are and says, have you been exposed to the worms? They, and then she looks at you and she realizes who you are.
And I'm looking right in
Says,
her
you
eyes. She
brought
looks at
them.
me and I'm looking right
You,
in her eyes.
you brought them here. You're, you're from the Solovetsky Island with Dr. Bircher. Is he one of your associates?
And you're Roxana, and I say her full name. And you're Doctor Roxana, whatever, and I give the background like,
Borsova. Yeah.
yeah, graduated from Alien Wayland University, you know. And we are not enemies, I will say.
Um, I'm gonna say that she believes you, and you don't need to roll.
Okay.
She says, "You. I don't think you realize what it is that you brought here. It it it, it seems to change depending on who it affects infects. Some people, just get flu-like symptoms, and others are changing in ways that I can't explain. I've been trying to test some of the people that become sick and figure out if there's some marker or something that I can use to detect who it's going to change,
Is he
and
infected?
maybe we can find some way to
I
stop it.
point, I point at Eric. I point
He's
at Cliff.
Cliff like Cliff
I
turns like wide eyed as he's picking up some wrapping paper from some kind of like fast food type thing she had laying around. And it's like, what?
he's not shown any symptoms of the change. It usually begins to take effect after several hours, and from what he's told me, he's been feeling ill for uh, over 24 hours. I would
Yeah,
think.
they did the eye test. I'm fine.
Maybe he has a case that, like another I've seen, and I kind of try to describe some of the details of that benign thing that the person's immune system had fought off. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking about,
okay.
John?
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, the refugee, and she says, I would. That sounds. I would love to get a sample of that. Is Dr. Bircher available with one of those? Perhaps
Um,
we can collaborate.
since you have, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna start to pick on her again. Say since you have the since you're a government sanctioned operation, and I'm kind
You
of like
see her
making fun of
eyes shift. You
yeah.
see her eyes shift a little bit as you say this.
I'm sure that you have access to the database of the research happening up on the Ilania.
I Unfortunately I had to part ways with the uh, you know, the standard research group up on the Ilyanla. I don't think you quite understand what is actually going on here on the mother colony.
I'll say no problem at all. If you're not if you're not government sanctioned, um, that doesn't affect our relationship.
Well, that is good to hear because I really would love to get my hands on that sample.
I'm sure Dr.
Perhaps
Bircher
we
would
can create
be.
more.
I'm sure Dr. Bircher would be very thrilled to speak with you, given your independent research. I'm sure
So
I can
as
arrange.
you,
I can arrange that.
uh, uh, that would be wonderful. And as you, as she says that, you hear a scream come from outside in the infirmary area, and several fires of pulse rifle rounds.
Hmm.
Uh, everyone, your stress is going to go up 1 point
Mm-hmm.
uh, from
Manually doing
hearing
that.
this sudden gunfire. Yep.
Right.
And you see, you know, uh, Dr. Borisova, kind of spins and she goes, "What was that? Are they killing them?" And she looks like she's going to go for the door to find out what's going on.
We're all going for the door. Who's first?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah. We'll go to
three.
the door.
Well, she's unless someone restrains her, she's going to go out the door before the two of you.
I'll follow third, probably.
Yep. I'll
You're both third.
no, no, no.
Okay.
I'll try to push my way in front of her. It's like, no, no, no. Let me go to Lee. I'm a little better equipped in case something happens.
It's a good
Okay.
idea.
I mean, you don't. I mean, you
Well, there's
say
pulse
that
rifle
as
fire.
you shove your gigantic body in front of her, and she
Yes.
can't get physically block her from going out the door. So Cliff peeks around, and you can see that the uh, the infirmary area, several of those patients that were tied down have broken out of their restraints, and they are on top of the two Marines.
Nice.
There are other patients there that are like scared to death and scrambling for the door, trying to avoid the two Marines and these attacking patients. Uh, and they're like scrambling over beds, fighting tooth and nail to get past each other to the door. What is Cliff going to do?
Cliff licks his lips, and all of a sudden he's got a cigar in his mouth, and he goes, "All right, guys, safety off." He
Uh,
takes out his pulse rifle and turns the safety off, and he gets ready to fire. He's gonna
okay.
shoot.
So I mean, like, there's basically four patients that are kind of like on top of the Marines, and the Marines are trying to fight them off. Occasionally there's just a wild pulse rifle round that goes off from the struggle. Who are you shooting at, and what are you trying to?
Well, hold on a second. Hold
Uh,
on a second.
what's
Let's see. How smart am I? Wits
How smart am I? Aim for the explosives.
uh, is there anything I could uh like aim at that would like fall and either distract them or knock them off? I don't know, like a cabinet or something, or like a medical cabinet, but that would like fall
uh,
over onto them or something if I hit it.
I would say, why don't we say there's some like compressed like oxygen containers
Ooh,
or like
perfect. Okay.
right next to them that are compressed, like it's compressed air. Uh, and yeah, you could shoot that, and it would cause an explosion. It may or may not
I was going to say
kill
that would
them.
probably kill
You
a
don't know.
lot more than them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the it would basically, it's not going to ignite. It would basically cause like like
Small
a
explosion.
pulse of a pulse of pressure that could potentially knock them over.
Uh, you know what? I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I'll go ahead and
Okay.
take
Uh,
aim.
so are you going to use um, your rifle or your pistol? I
Um,
think we need to give you a pistol. I don't
yeah, I
think
don't
you
have a
have one.
pistol in my thing.
All right, I will give you one. Which
Actually,
which do you want to use?
I think a pistol would probably be smarter here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Give me just 1 second. Here we
Save
go.
the pulse rifle for actual bugs.
All right. Now you now have an M4A3 service pistol,
Okay,
standard issue for Colonial Marine. So you'll have to activate that. I actually learned how to activate specifically. We did it by accident a
Ooh.
couple times. Uh, you just have to right click,
done.
or actually, are you done? Okay. All right. So go ahead and just click on it, and it'll do the roll. All right. You got two successes. So
Nice.
that is going to uh, definitely cause like you hit that compressed air container and it ruptures and all of this air comes out at once and it throws two of the manic patients off of the marines against the wall right on
Mm.
top of the cot that you were actually lying on. The
Ooh,
other the marines are knocked over, uh, and but there's two patients still on top of them, and you hear the screaming from the Marines getting louder as though they might be killing them.
I mean, does the bonus? Do I get a bonus or anything for that second success?
No, that's going to be that's the reason that you knocked both that knocked two of the
Okay,
patients off. So that's
gotcha,
why there's two. If you had gotten three successes, there'd only be one patient on.
gotcha. Okay. I mean, I have to take another shot. I guess. I guess there's nothing else I can do. I can't think of
Okay,
anything
are you
else.
going to shoot at the patients now, or
There's
are
only
you?
what? There's two of them.
Yes, they are kind of like hunched over, one on each of the Marines. They're doing something unseemly to them.
Ghost.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I'm going into instinct mode, so yeah, I'll start shooting at them.
okay. Go ahead and
Another
give.
shot.
Yeah, and if you can switch to a rifle if you want.
I'll stick with the pistol here.
Okay.
Boom.
All right. Yeah. So that's definitely going to take him out. Yeah, you put several rounds up into his upper chest and then one into the back of his head, and he just slumps over on top of the marine. And the marine's like still screaming, like trying to get the dead thing off of him, thrashing around on the ground. The other one is going to. You can see the uh, the other marine is like the patient is like slashing down his hands, and you hear a scream come, and it's followed by a gurgle sound, and you see a chunk of meat come up uh, in the patient's hand, and a spray of blood come up from the marine and splatter all over the wall. So you're Cliff is going to take another point of stress from that,
Okay. Okay. So
and
I'm at
you
3.
can. So is what I mean, Doctor Borisova is kind of when she hears the Cliff firing, is kind of staying in her office, like kind of hiding behind the door. Is Yoko doing anything?
Oh, she's hiding, huh? I'm running in. I'm in the room. We're in the medical room, right? Everyone's in here.
Yep. Well, Cliff isn't. He's maybe like 10, 15 feet outside the door.
Yep. I'm
Oh, okay.
basically
So
like
everyone's outside the room.
hopping around the corner and shooting
No,
and
no, no, no.
going
The
around.
two of you are inside the
Hmm.
office. Cliff is about 10 or 15 feet outside the office, shooting into the infirmary.
I see. um, can I? Is it possible for me to lock down and decontaminate the room again?
Yeah, you'd have to run past Cliff
Hit the button that
and
the guards hit,
hit
right?
the button. Yep. Well, the scientists hit it, but yes.
Oh, the scientist hit. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Guess I'll try to do that. run in and hit the
Okay.
button.
Okay. Uh, yeah. I mean, that's not going to
It's just
require
gonna make
any
a
rolls
fog
or
cloud,
anything.
and we're all gonna be blind,
Yep.
and the monsters are
Yeah.
gonna kill us. But
So
that's okay.
you, does Cliff say anything as Yoko's running by him?
Cliff is like looking at it and see how many shots he's got left, and he just sees Yoko run by and goes, "Wait, what? Wait, open!" Like starts reaching
And
for him. It's like,
So
"Wait,
there's still two. So there's just to be clear, there's two murderous
there-
prisoner
there's
only
one.
inmates.
one."
No, two are like knocked unconscious or something. Like they were
Okay,
thrown against the wall with a lot of force.
I
They're
see.
not moving. One was killed by Cliff. So there's one that's left that just killed one of the Marines that was in the or
Okay,
guards. Yeah, I guess you don't know if they're Marines or not.
I'll just grab something and try to flail at it with like a fire extinguisher or something, or
Okay, so you're not hitting the button.
instead of hitting the decontamination button.
Cliff
I'm
is
running
Cliff is
by
basically switching
with the
into cover mode when this is happening. That he's going to cover. If this goes bad, he's going to open fire again.
like I'm running for the button,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, I could just grab this thing and swing it while I'm running by. So
Okay.
it's like
Yeah, we'll
grab this
say
thing.
we'll say there's like a fire extinguisher next, like nearby where the button on the wall where the
Yeah,
button was
yeah, yeah,
that you were
yeah,
gonna hit.
yeah. And I swing
So
it
what
with
are you
all
gonna
my
do with it?
force.
What, you're gonna run across the room and attack them physically with it?
Yeah,
Okay. So you're gonna have to give me a mobility roll because there are a bunch of patients trying to escape the room,
no problem.
and
I'm
you're going to be like running around them.
There you
I'm
go.
super mobile. Look at
Okay.
me go.
Yeah. So yeah, you jump up onto a cot to get around one and leap over another one and duck around, and yeah, you can swing at this thing. It
Yep,
seems to be savoring its kill
yep. Fire
as
extinguisher
you
smash in the back of the
yeah.
head, and I'm gonna push.
uh
Yeah,
you got one success. All right. Yeah,
there you go.
so yeah, it's a solid connect on the back of the head, and it uh, like falls forward and rolls around, but you can see there is still bloodlust in its eyes. Uh, and its eyes are black, like pitch black, just like
Mm-hmm.
your mechanic, whose name has escaped me, Daver.
Daver.
Uh, and except this one is not unconscious.
Classic Daver
And
eyes.
and it's going to it is ready to kill, and it's going to leap up and slash at you with its hands. It
Bring
doesn't
it
really have
on!
claws.
Can I get a
Oh
shot
boy.
off before that happens? Since I said I had him
Uh,
covered in case something happened,
yes,
or
yes, yeah. We can
okay,
do that before we resolve this. That sounds good.
okay.
Yeah. So you're going to need to drop your. I assume are you shooting at the thing
Yeah,
like
I'm shooting
past
at it. I'm gonna try to
past
hit the
past
infect.
Yoko?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think there's an easy way to assign like penalties and stuff.
Yeah,
So
don't worry
just
about me. Just shoot my
yeah,
shoulder.
I mean, to me,
yeah.
that would be adding a little bit more stress, but I don't know. Stress is kind of a good thing, isn't it? So I don't know. I don't know.
No, it's actually going to be more difficult to hit this. So
Yeah.
really, what the role is determining whether you hit your target.
Okay.
So we're going to drop your ranged combat by one, so it'll go down to two just temporarily. So I think you'll have to manually change that because
All right.
there's no,
So you want me to
there's
do
no,
range down to one or down to two?
uh, down to two, yeah, and then just
Okay.
do your attack and you can bump it back up. There might be a better way of doing that. I'll have to look that up.
There's a one success. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, so that round goes right through its chest and it slumps down to the ground. Uh, it was lurching up uh, at Yoko, and you shot it straight in the chest, and it falls down to the ground.
I'll help Yoko
dead.
up and say there's more than one way to extinguish a fire.
The 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 room, like all of the patients, are running towards the door, and one of them forces it open, and they all run out. You see, uh, like there's guards outside that um, like have their guns ready, uh, and are kind of confused as to whether or not they should shoot at these people.
I'm gonna yell,
Uh,
"Stop them!" I'm gonna yell, "Shoot them!"
you're gonna yell, okay, all right. So you hear, yeah, so you hear pistol fire, which Cliff can easily identify, and screaming as they, the two guards that were standing outside that door previously try to kill these patients as they're running out. And you hear as soon as the gunfire starts, you hear Doctor Borisova run out the door. What are you doing? Don't kill them! You're scaring them. They they're going to disappear into the population. And
Exactly. Shoot
uh,
them. Exactly.
and so are you guys gonna like follow, or you're still inside of the infirmary? What are you
So
doing?
how
Following
many
out,
are
running after the people who are running away because my priority is not letting them get into the population. That's my priority.
all right?
Okay.
So there is a group of people that are infected that are running out right now. That's what happening.
So you don't know if they're infected, but these are the patients that were not strapped down uh, while you guys were while shortly after the decontamination was going on.
But
You
we
don't
did.
know what their status is, but they are not attacking anybody. They are just trying to escape. They were like freaking out because four of the patients started trying to kill the Marines, and they just wanted to get out of the room.
Yoko feels like this is an existential colonial crisis and that we need to kill these people. Sorry.
All right. Well, does Yoko have a gun?
um, good question. Let me check character sheet.
Cliff will
I don't see
Cliff
anything
will
on this
say
one.
here he ain't gonna use it anymore, and he'll just give you the
Pistol?
kind of kick over the
The pistol.
pistol from
The
one of the
pistol.
dead guards.
Yeah, I'll take a pistol.
Okay. All right. I will transfer it between your sheets then. Oh no, wait, that's Kip's sheet.
So I will shoot at them. I don't want to shoot if I have a risk of hitting a civilian, like a non-infected civilian.
Okay, so they are running this way, which is I'm sorry. They are running this way.
Okay.
So there is not a very large population because that is the service garage
Then
and
I
stuff
will.
like
Then
that
I will
there.
participate in the shooting, and I will fire a
All right.
pistol.
What is Cliff doing, Eric?
Is there any like storm door or something I can hit for like an emergency like
Make them
ceiling or
fall into the
something?
sewers.
No, I was more thinking of blocking off this area from the rest of the place, so like I can hit a button
No,
and a door will come down or something.
not here.
Okay.
This area, to give you a sense of scale, is like 100 yards across. So yeah, there's no way to in this
Yeah, it's
area
big.
here. If they're running down south, maybe there might be doors and stuff that you could close, but this is a big open service area that there's a exit out onto the colony there, or onto the planet there, and yeah, this is just where trucks come in and unload and that sort of thing down here. Uh, so no, there is not any large doors for you to shut.
Um. Shit. I will. I guess I'll fire at them because that's kind of.
Turn to the
All
dark
right.
side.
Yeah. After hearing Yoko saying his piece about.
It's an existential threat. We're all gonna die
Yeah.
if we don't kill them.
He's like, well, I better stop him.
All
Uh,
right.
so I guess
So,
I guess I have my pulse rifle now because I gave my pistol over, right?
yes, that is correct.
Okay. I guess I'll fire.
So, yeah, so I'm going to say any success will kill one of them because they are just, regular
Let's see if I
civilians.
can figure out how to equip
Um,
a weapon.
it should, I think it came over as active, so you should just have to click on
Yeah,
it.
Okay, I have a
it's still
pistol.
shown over on mine too, so I don't know if it's.
No,
Hey, look
that's
at me
fine.
go. I'm the best.
All right,
You got a
I got.
success. All right.
All right, here we go.
Oh no.
Oh, good.
Ah, this makes sense to me.
You're fine.
Okay, but you're keeping it together though. That is uh, what should have kind of happened when Yoko panicked before because you got a roll of 6.
Yeah, my roll
I
was
think
so
it's like 8.
low. I don't understand. I rolled
Yeah,
4.
I
Why
I,
was it? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. There was something going on with your panic
Because with
level.
the
I
low
don't know what
rolls, it
happened.
should be. It should be. No big deal.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So Cliff fires and goes wide, and he sees this person is obviously
He
fearing for their life. And
he's still I'm gonna say he's probably fighting in his head. He's like, oh man, this seems real familiar right now, and it kind of affects him, and that's why he's doing this panic thing right
You
now.
missed on purpose. You value the lives of civilians too much.
Okay,
all right, so
I figured
I'm gonna roll for the guard, or I'm sorry, the 2 guards. I got 1 6 there. I'll do it again. Oh, you don't see these because I have it on private because I was doing
correct.
another roll.
Yeah,
Yeah. So the 2 guard. Let me go back to public. The 2 guards are each fire at a couple of the civilians. So 2 of them are dead. There are 6 more still running
Oh boy.
across. There's a there's a total of 8 of them.
Oh boy.
Uh,
all right.
and
Yeah,
I
I'll
mean that.
fire again.
Okay. So you get one more fire at normal range, and then it's going to be long range
All right.
before.
My pulse rifle is long range. I don't know if that changes anything.
Uh, yeah. So your pulse rifle will be just fine for firing
Okay.
long range. Yeah.
All right. Here we go. 1.
Oh, what? Okay. You want to push and try to get more successes?
Yeah, I think I will. Hold on a second. Let me see.
You just mow them all
Yeah,
down.
yeah. Ah,
All right, go.
there we go.
Oh my God. Yep.
Wow. Good
Yeah, you did.
job.
Okay.
Good
So
job.
I'm not
4
sure.
successes. 4 successes. Let's go. Do I
Yeah.
get to
So
shoot
there's only
again?
4 of them left.
I'll shoot again.
You can. You can. Sure.
Okay. I like take a deep breath before I shot that time. It's like, all right,
Oh wow. 2. Okay.
nice.
All right. So
I pushed. Sorry.
the
I'm panicking because
oh,
I killed an innocent civilian.
did did you mean to push?
Yes, I meant to push.
Oh, okay. So you go berserk.
Oh, geez, you're gonna start
Okay.
hitting me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep shooting.
Yeah. So yeah, you start. First Cliff,
Why is my
fires
panic broken?
multiple rounds, and kills several of them, and then Yoko goes crazy, just unloading the clip of his pistol, killing the last one. And then you know, starts shooting at the guards that were outside the door
Oh
before
yeah, we can't let them get out.
right. Yeah, so he
Cliff is
he
like,
looks
"What
like
are
he's
you
going to
doing?"
try. Wait, what is Cliff going to do?
Cliff
Restrain
says,
him?
"What are you doing?" And he just takes the butt of his rifle and tries to knock him out.
We're all contaminated.
All right, give me a close combat roll.
Can I concede this? Can I get knocked out out of character
Yeah,
intentionally?
as long as he gets 1 success.
Too.
Yeah, you got 2 successes. All right. Yeah, so
I'll like catch
you
him before he falls.
yeah. Yeah, so
No.
Yoko is like screaming and firing until his pistol runs out, and then Cliff like like hits him on the back of the head with the butt of his rifle, and he Yoko just sees black, and Cliff catches him, sets him either. What does he do? Set him on the ground or throw him
Yeah, I
over his
just set
shoulder?
him I set him real quietly or real gently on the ground, and then kind of.
All right.
Good,
So
good section,
you
guys. We killed a bunch of civilians.
So a large group of security officers start coming up from this area down here, heading in your direction. Uh, there is now uh, there's what? There's 8 dead
8 dead
civilians
civilians.
within gun range. The guards that were there were checked. You saw them. When Yoko started shooting at them, they ran away, like in the
Hmm.
same direction. So they disappeared up around here. Uh, and you have no idea where Dr. Borisova is, or the Marine that was saved. Uh, but you can hear but I mean, there must be like a dozen security officers coming up from further south.
Cliff will
What
just
are you
kind of
guys
like
gonna do?
Cliff says, "All right, here we go," and he'll try to get Yoko onto his back and then kind of hump his way out of here.
Okay, you're gonna go north.
Uh, yeah, because I'm gonna
Maybe you should
I
deliver me to the governor.
yeah, I could do that. Yeah. He's like,
Okay,
all right,
so
special delivery. Here we go.
does that mean you're going to are you going to still run away from the guards, or what are you going to do?
I don't, where's the governor at? I guess I'm not clear on that part.
The governor is on the. You can see the map, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So the governor is on the administration level or the office level. Um,
Okay,
that is on the second floor.
okay. I'll start heading that way. I guess I'll do a roundabout way though, so not to deal with the guard. So I guess I'll go like around. I don't know how to draw on
Okay.
this,
All
but
right. So you're going to have to give me let's say a mobility roll in
okay.
order to, and your stress. I'm going to say that you can recover 2 stress. Um, Yoko's stress can go all the way down to 0.
Yay!
But
And the
Cliff
glories
will
of
recover.
unconsciousness.
Cliff will recover 2 stress because he knows the firefight's over and he just needs to get to safety.
Okay.
So you can, and then you can give me the mobility roll from there. All right, 3 successes. Yeah.
Woo.
So Cliff must have a lot of experience carrying people while he runs, because he's making really good time, uh, and he is very confident that he disappeared around this corner before the security guards show up. Um, you can see when you look down into this into this area down here. This is like a shop area, like an open market. You can see that you know people have basically are like running from this area. The entire shop area is like deserted. And you can see the last of the crowd uh, running running this way, uh, back and away from the gun where the gunfire was. All right, so you're going to try to make your way to the
The governor. Yep.
office level and to the governor. All
Yeah.
right. So there are several elevators. Most these,
Actually, I'll get to a spot first where I think it's relatively safe, and then I'll probably try to revive Yoko. Kind of slap him a little bit until he wakes up.
okay, yeah, you like smack. You just give them a few firm smacks on each
5 more
side of the
minutes,
head. Maybe
Mom.
dump some water on his head, and eventually he comes to, uh, and realizes. what. Uh,
All right,
Did
yeah,
Sleeping
because he
Beauty.
made it out alive.
did
You, you,
uh, did they get away? I'm just like that's all I'm thinking.
well, they're not here anymore. That's for sure.
I get your
No, they're
meaning.
dead.
I get your meaning, and I say good, and I fade. You're like, I'm like, what? Where are we? What's happening? What?
Just past the. We're just past the shops. There's a squad of guards hot on our tail. I was heading towards the governor's office since you were saying something about.
The governor's good. The governor's good. She knows what we she'll help us. The governor will help us.
Like,
Um,
all right, I'll follow your lead.
um, let's go that way then. I guess let's head toward the governor's office. I'm conscious and cooperating, and
Yes, you're much easier to work with. You're not trying to shoot people.
they had to be stopped.
All
Is,
right, so the
is this the first
main.
time you've used a pistol?
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah. He just trails off and starts falling.
All right, so the elevators to get up to the office level are down here to the southwest. There is a security checkpoint uh, right here in order to get through and get access. Um, you both normally would have access to this. Um, so there is, I mean, you are maybe a little sweaty and disheveled, but none of you were really involved in physical, like, a physical altercation. So, yeah, you're not bloody or anything like that. Um, so are you just going to make your way directly there? Or do you want to do something else? Clean yourselves up? What?
I don't have any other business. I imagine if we can find the governor, I can explain and report back on everything. I'm pretty open with the governor. I'm not really hiding stuff from them.
Okay, yeah, I
Okay.
mean, as we're walking, I'll kind of try to pat myself down to cool off or whatever to get
Okay.
this, so I'm not as sweaty.
And I'll make small talk. Like what? So what were your symptoms? Why did you go in?
Oh, just a low grade fever.
She said
Nothing.
it sounded like Roxana didn't think that you had this. I hope you don't, because they were all over me. And I look at my stained clothes, and I like kind of like rub gently at the oil stain.
Yeah, we might want to get you a change of clothes here. I wouldn't want that stuff touch me, especially after seeing how black the eyes are on those other ones that were eating
My eyes
people.
still white. I look at you.
And they are.
Oh, they are. Yes.
Let's hope it stays that way. Um,
Yeah. Well, if not, I've got backup right here, and he'll pat his pulse rifle.
my eyes look sad. We carry on.
All right. You make your way down to the security checkpoints, and they, both let you through, and you make your way up onto the office level and to the governor's office in Office Block A.
We haven't done a lot in the
Uh,
office level.
Ye yeah, so you, you've been here, both of you have been here before, but, obviously not together. Uh, you still don't know where Hip is, um, but
I imagine you got out
you
fine.
when you head to the office, when you make it to the governor's office, you can see that she is having a meeting with what Cliff knows to be some of the higher officers in the security contingent, and Gaius, the synthetic who is responsible for assigning the colony expeditions to the expeditionary teams, including uh, Yoko's team.
Hey, there's Gaius. Probably should wait. There's a lot of big wigs in there. Unless you're a
Uh,
bigger wig than them.
Sometimes I pretend to be, but I am certainly not.
All right. So, are you going to wait? Then is that what I'm hearing?
I don't think this is a waiting situation. Let's see. So, who did you say is in there? You said Gaius, the governor,
Gaius, and the governor, and several high-level officers in the security contingent.
and sorry, where are we? We're at just some room, some conference room.
Yeah, so we're in office block A, which is 7. Let's see, 7 on here. Oh, it's up here. So this is her office right here.
Okay, okay, okay,
It's like this whole area. She's got like
okay.
conference areas and stuff like
Great.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
But all these are glass windows, so you can see inside and see them talking at this desk right here.
Okay, and we're in here, and there's no like escort or like we can waltz in here, no problem. Anyone can waltz in here, no
Uh,
problem.
Yeah, I mean, you've been up here multiple times, talking to the governor and Gaius. Up here, Gaius's office is in the back here, and so yeah, you've been up here, and it's Cliff's job to be up here every once in a while.
Yep.
Okay, then I imagine we'll just stand in a place where she can see us and be like, "Hey, I want your attention next."
And just waving at her through the glass window.
Yeah, hey, little finger waggles.
While he's doing that, I'm just sitting like at full attention behind him.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, you definitely get her attention, uh, and she keeps looking at you as you're more and more insistent that you need to talk to her.
Eyebrows, eyebrows,
And
eyebrows.
yeah, yeah. So she leans over to Gaius and points in your direction, and you see Gaius heading towards you. So, uh, Eric, for your information, Gaius is one of the synthetic models that is played by Michael Fassbender in the later Alien movies. So it's that same model, and he is basically a right hand man to the governor and is the team's contact for all things related to their colony expeditions.
Gotcha.
And from their understanding, he also coordinates the other three expeditionary ships and their colony expeditions as well. Um, you may have seen him around, but you probably had no reason to interact with him.
Yeah. That's about
So
right.
he comes through and he says, "Is there something that needs the governor's attention? She is quite busy right now."
Well, yes. The answer is yes.
Okay, can you elaborate?
Um, what is the let's see the research of Dr. Roxana, whatever her full name is, uh,
Borisova.
Borisova, Roxana Borisova, has needs immediate attention, and I'm also looking at him to see if he responds to that. Does he recognize that name?
You can give me an observation roll with no stress. You can. I don't think. I don't. If
I
you
don't
have
have
any
any.
stress,
I
you
don't
can
have any.
remove it. Okay. Then give me an observation roll. You, despite being a synthetic, you notice a slight twinge of
Processing.
uh, yeah, of acknowledgement as to who this person is, and he seems to say, "I'm not responsible for, and neither is the governor for any scientific investigation. I think you need to talk to the lead physician up on the Ilyanla if it's in related to research.
Well, no question, the research questions are most prevalent for the Elion, yeah, but the colony itself, the health of the welfare of the colony itself depends on that research. So we need to talk to the governor now.
Did something happen?
Things have been happening for the past, whatever, however, 2 months.
There was an incident downstairs.
Yes, we've heard about it and we're trying to deal with it. If you can shed more light on it, please join us in the office. And he approaches the door and
Hmm?
holds it open for the two of you.
Enter. Listen.
Yep, I walk in.
And he follows behind the two of you and says, "Governor, uh, these two people have uh, claimed that they have more information as to the event that took place down on the ground floor. Um, I don't know the details. Please elaborate."
Uh, uh, Dr. Roxana Bodsanova. um,
Borisova.
Borisova, yes. Dr. Roxana Borisova, her research in Sector 11 on floor A, or on the main level, are went went awry. She should have known better than to be doing what she was doing down there with the protocols she was using. There's I believe that there's a fairly high risk of contamination and uh, contagion being released into the general population.
So, based off of your extra success that you got, when you bring up Borisova's uh, research, you see a look of panic concern come over the governor, and she looks to Gaius, and Gaius kind of, shakes his head to, as in to imply not to bring it up. Uh, and she says, "In the protocols that you and your team established when you first arrived, take care of this issue."
She's asking us.
Yes, she's asking you because you just brought it up.
Dr. Bircher's methods are are good for screening, but I don't know how effective they will be for decontamination.
She seems frustrated. Says, what are you suggesting we do? Just kill everyone on the ground floor?"
Well, we can start by screening. We can start by isolation, uh, and screen people. To screen people. As we can, as well as we can to make sure that the population isn't affected. We don't know
All
how many
right.
people might be affected. I just know that Roxana's protocols were inadequate, and I'm mad about scientific protocol.
The governor turns to the three officers and says, "I want you to set up the isolation and quarantine that what's Yoko's last name again? I forget.
Navona.
Navona. Can, I want you to set up a quarantine as described by Dr. Navona. Uh, and Doctor, I need you to get Dr. Bircher down here to assist with the creation of these screening processes. I want the man that invented it in charge of this, so it happens as quickly and efficiently as possible. Where is your compatriot?"
He's on the Ilania. We can call for him to come down immediately.
All right, do so and give me an update as soon as you have made any progress.
Um,
Gaius Gaia says, "You can come to my office, and we'll make contact with the Ilyana and get Doctor Berger down here." Are you going to follow Gaius, or do you want to find him by yourself?
Wait, what's Gaius doing? Sorry.
He's inviting you back to his office to use his, his uh, com, you know, com station to contact the Ilyana and get Doctor Berger down onto the mother colony. Is that what you are? Are you going to go along with that, or do you want to
Yeah, I'll
do
go. I'll
something
go.
else?
I'll follow Gaius.
All right. Is Cliff going, or is he going to, is he going to do something else like assist these officers with the quarantine?
Uh, he might talk to the governor real quick if he can, because he's talking to her before, right? Is a girl, right? A lady.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Um, I would say, yeah. I mean, you may have had some very curt
Great.
conversations with her, or courteous conversations with her,
Yeah.
but maybe not any like long, extensive
I
conversations.
don't think it's gonna be long. Basically, and this is more of just like shoring up, sealing up my character, joining the group. Basically, asking, long and short of it, of if she wants me to accompany this group, for protection, because I've seen them in combat and they're a little green.
She, a smile comes over her face, and you hear some snickers from the officers. And she says, "Yes, I have read the reports of their previous expedition, and I would appreciate the help of a strong marine in ensuring their safety. They have dealt with some unsavory types, and did not have the muscle and firepower that I they most likely needed had things gone more south."
He'll just give a curt nod and say, I'll gather my thing."
Yes, speak with Gaius for details for the assignments,
Okay, and then
and he will
I'll
give you
go.
all the security clearances you need.
All right, and then I'll probably follow into where Yoko and Gaius are. Probably, I don't know, 10 minutes after they started the call or something.
Uh, yeah, not quite 10 minutes, but
Okay.
a few minutes later,
Yeah.
you walk in, and Yoko and Gaius are at the comm station, and there seems to be some sort of problem. There is no response on the Ilyanla.
Wonderful. Uh, there must be. Is it working?
I I know how to operate my comm center. There must be something wrong with the array, or the the communications officer is not at his station. Perhaps you should go up there and physically retrieve him.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe we could try someone else's radio. I give him
I
a
will
look.
tell the governor.
Eyebrows.
I will tell the. I will. I will give it the governor the update. If you want to attempt someone else's comm station, feel free. The governor will likely let you use her personal one. That's in her living quarters.
I imagine we try another one. It doesn't work, and we need to go in person.
Yes, there's also no response. So this is very disconcerting, because the Ilyana
It's
has
major.
thousands of people inside,
Yeah.
uh,
Did you
stationed
try
on it.
talking into it louder?
So this must be a big deal to not just us.
Yes, the governor she is kind of uh, getting very flustered. She's like, "I can only deal with one crisis at a time. The Gaius, go up onto the Ilyanla with them. Take one of the ships, uh, and find out what's going on. If you need to take a contingent of security officers, do it. I don't want to deal with this right now. I've got tens of thousands to worry about."
I guess we're going with the skin job or whatever derogatory term I have.
All right. So
Good job's
they
good.
are going. So you're going to head up onto the third floor. Gaius is going to retrieve a squad of six other Marines. Um, they give Cliff a courteous guy nod when they come into the drop into onto the drop ship.
Yep.
You
I did.
guys all strap in.
I did a little
What's that?
secret Marine handshake to some of them. So.
All right. You guys head up onto the ship. Once you leave orbit, I mean, leave the atmosphere and see the ship in orbit, I mean, it looks fine. The lights are on. It is where it's supposed to be. It takes a good couple hours to reach it and dock with it.
Inhaling comms
Uh,
or anything when we as we approach?
Yeah, yeah. The pilot tries to approach, contact them during the approach with no success, and he has to dock manually
Okay.
and open up the the airlock manually in
Yeah.
order for the I guess there's what 10 of you to get inside. So you open the doors and the hallways are relatively they're lit. There's a couple patches where the lights seem to have gone out on either end of the long hallway where the airlock is.
Maintenance must have missed their checklist.
So the six Marines that came with you prepare their rifles and smart guns, and one of them gets out a motion tracker. The motion tracker is goes off immediately, and it seems that there are like densely packed groups of motion in several of the rooms on both directions down both hallways.
There's motion everywhere. We
But
want to.
none in the hallways for some reason.
Oh, weird. I want to head towards where I would think the research center is. So towards Berkshire.
Okay, yeah, you would know where. Yeah, you would know where
Yeah,
that is.
I'll follow behind.
Uh, all right, so all 10 of you turn to the left out of the airlock and start making your way down the hallway at a relatively good pace. I mean, there is light and everything, but you can hear the pings of the motion sensor going off. And you have come to the first door where motion is registering on the other side.
What does the motion
It
look
is
like?
the
Is it like? Can you tell if it's like a humanoid
it's a
or like what? How specific is it?
no, it's basically just like a flashing dot on the like it tells you a distance, but there's like a tightly packed group of dots inside of the room.
Okay.
So the marine tells you it they're in there. There's got to be at least a dozen of them.
Is there a way to intercom in? Can we intercom? Is there any interface we can?
Um, not. I mean, yeah. I mean, you could try. You could find a hallway intercom and try to contact that room. But that would probably take maybe 5 to 10 minutes to
Yeah,
find.
even in general, intercoming around to announce our presence and that would be useful. But we can worry about that after we deal with this room. which we can
I
just.
mean, to be clear, this is not the room this is not the research center. This is just the first room you're coming across with movement inside.
I'm sure they're fine. Let's move. Let's go to the research center. I suggest we move
I,
forward.
best best response from a character in an alien movie. I'm sure they're fine.
Yep.
There's nothing.
Nothing bad going
They're all
on.
huddled together. There's nothing going on in there.
Hey,
It's cold.
they're still
It's just
moving.
they're having a party. It's
Space is cold.
all right. You start making your way down, and you're potentially going to pass two more rooms with motion sensors. Do you guys want to skip them and just go straight to find Bircher?
Uh, I'm not gonna mess with the rooms unless they demand that I mess with them.
Yeah, I think
All
getting
right.
Butcher that seems to be our main mission anyway right now. Secure him, and then I guess we can check to see what
I'm
other
sure
life
it's
is
just
on the ship.
survivors who are huddled into corners, and I don't know why they're huddled into corners. What is?
All right. It sounds like you're just heading straight towards Bircher.
Yes.
So you start making your way around the corner, and the research center should be straight ahead at a three-way intersection.
Hmm.
As you start to approach that intersection, you start to hear the Marine with the motion sensor says, "I've got movement in the hallway around the corner here. It's moving pretty fast."
Right.
Okay.
Safety's off, and I pull out the pulse rifle.
All right,
Um,
they ready their smart guns and pulse rifles.
can I do that Overwatch thing,
uh,
or is that
yeah, I'll
something
say.
else?
Uh, I'll, is that actually a
That's an
like a perk or
ability, and
something?
I was reading about in a book.
Okay.
I'll
Uh,
have to pull it up.
I will. I'm going to tell you. I'm setting up a cliffhanger, so we're actually going to resolve this later. But I will
Okay,
let
that's
you
fine.
do the
I'm
the
basically just
Overwatch.
waiting. Yeah, basically I'm just waiting to see if something comes up, then I shoot at it. From my
Okay.
understanding.
Yeah. So actually, all I'm going to say all the Marines are going to do that.
Okay.
What is Gaius is like concerned, but he is not like cowering behind the Marines. What is Yoko doing?
Yoko's going to just use the pistol and follow on with what everyone else is doing.
Okay. So the everyone's planted and ready for whatever's coming around this corner. And they say it's 10 feet around the corner. It's right on top of us, and you're prepared to fire at something that comes around the corner. But nothing is there,
Classic
and it never
alien.
comes around. And he says it's right here. It's right in front of us. And just as he says that, the flooring that you were walking on
Oh, you
bursts up,
think?
and this giant like starfish like creature emerges from underneath the flooring, and is pulling itself up with its five appendages, which are these long tentacle like things, uh, and it has a gaping maw that opens up that as it reaches for you once it, and then we will pick up with the combat right there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That Overwatch
Starfish.
thing is on. Yeah, that was good. That Overwatch thing is on page 97, John. If you want to look at
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I was reading. Yeah, I found it and I was reading it as you were doing that. So I think that'll definitely allow you to go first. So uh,
Cool.
all right. So and then we will hopefully Dell can join us next week, and
Yeah,
we can
that'll be
find
fun.
out what happened to Bircher, and then Todd should be here too, so we can find out what happened to Kip. I
See if
did
I can.
do a I did do a roll for Kip, like a mobility roll, and he successfully avoided detection from
Okay.
anybody and escaped the area. So I'll
Great.
ask Todd where he went, and you know, maybe
Well, I'm glad the guy infected with worms escaped the area.
yes, yep. The
Wonderful. Yeah, Kip's patient 0.
that's right. Yep. So you can call him Old Black Eyes, and
I
maybe Todd will be rolling up another character. We'll have to wait and see.
can't wait.
All